What if everything we know about the origins of civilization is wrong? In the early 1990s, something was discovered beneath a quiet hill in Turkey, something that should not exist. This structure is older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, and possibly older than civilization itself. For decades, historians believed civilization began around 3000 BC with agriculture, cities, and organized society. But before that, humans were thought to be simple hunter-gatherers, but that assumption would soon be challenged. In 1994, archaeologists began excavating a site known as Göbekli Tepe. What they found beneath the surface was extraordinary. Massive pillars, some weighing over 20 tons, and covered in carvings of animals and symbols we still don't fully understand. But the most shocking part wasn't the structure itself. When researchers began analyzing the site, they expected it to be old. But nothing could have prepared them for what came next. Using radiocarbon dating, they tested organic material buried within the structure. The results were impossible to ignore. The site dates back to around 9600 BC. That's over 11,000 years ago, thousands of years before the pyramids, even before the first cities. This creates a problem, because according to everything we thought we knew, this shouldn't be possible. How could hunter-gatherers build something this complex? These pillars weigh over 20 tons. Transporting them would require coordination, planning, and tools, but there's no evidence they had any of that. But that's not even the strangest part. There are no houses here, no signs of daily life, no kitchens, no homes, no evidence of people living here. So what was this place? A city or something else entirely? Some researchers believe this was a ritual site, a place where early humans came together, not to live, but to gather, to perform ceremonies, or something we still don't fully understand. But others believe this changes everything. If this wasn't built by primitive humans, but by a civilization we've completely forgotten. Of course, not everyone agrees. Many scientists argue that early humans were more capable than we assumed, and that cooperation may explain everything. But even then, questions remain, because structures like this shouldn't exist at this point in history, and this might be just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Some researchers have begun noticing a pattern, similar structures found across different parts of the world, built at times we don't fully understand. What if advanced knowledge existed long before recorded history? A knowledge that was lost or forgotten, or perhaps deliberately erased. But these ideas remain controversial, and many experts caution against jumping to conclusions. Hay argue that we may simply be underestimating early humans. But even if that's true, it forces us to rethink what we consider civilization. Maybe it didn't begin with cities or farming. Maybe it began with something else entirely, something we haven't fully understood yet. And perhaps something we're only just beginning to rediscover. Back at the site, the mystery remains. Many parts are still buried, and excavation is far from complete. What we've uncovered so far may only be the beginning, and what lies beneath could change everything. Not just about this site, but about the true origins of civilization. Because if this was built before everything we thought we knew, then maybe we've been looking at history the wrong way. So the question is, how many more discoveries like this are still waiting beneath our feet, and how much of our past is still missing?